Hello learners, I welcome you all in my lecture series on classical optics for Physics 1. Myself, Dr. Sucharita Bhattacharya, subject teacher of physics from Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, Kolkata, is welcoming you in my lecture session, which is valid for first semester BTech course, and the streams for which I am delivering the lecture is computer science and engineering, as well as information technology and food technology. Today I will deliver the lecture 9. Now let us take a look what is there in lecture 9. Actually, you students know that right now we are in the submodule 2.02 of module 2, which is on classical optics. And in submodule 2.02, we are doing the diffraction chapter. Total number of lectures allocated is 5, where today's lesson plan is for this fifth lecture session, where I will discuss few MCQs on diffraction, that means multiple choice questions on diffraction, and I will solve different types of problems on diffraction. That means type problems on diffraction. So let us start our today's session. Now look here. Today, I have framed my MCQs in a little bit different way. I have given here the different answer keys. But what about the corresponding questions? Let us now find out one after another. The first question, if the wavelength of the light used in the single slit Fraunhofer diffraction is increased, then the width of the central maximum. I am repeating, if the wavelength of the light used in the single slit Fraunhofer diffraction is increased, then the width of the central maximum remains same, decreases, increases, none of the above. Now this is the single slit Fraunhofer diffraction and you need the width of central maximum. That means you have to find out the which value central width of the central maximum means you need to consider the value of the 2 theta. Now what about 2 theta? 2 theta is the angle between the two first order minima. Between the two first order minima. So central maximum lies between two first order minima. Now the condition of minimum you all know is sine theta equal to m lambda. So first order means m equal to 1. So what we are getting E sine theta equal to lambda. So what is sine theta? Sine theta equal to lambda by sine theta E sine theta equal to lambda. So sine theta equal to lambda by E. Now you are increasing the lambda value. That means sine theta increases, so theta will increases, and obviously 2 theta will increase. Theta is half of the angular width. We will do the problems and you will get that one through the numerical applications. So I think the formula is clear to you that central maximum is nothing but the order of the intensity, rather diffraction intensity, which is lying between the two first order minima. So condition of minima with n equal to 1, you put and get the value of theta, how its dependence with respect to lambda. It is directly proportional. Naturally, if you increase the wavelength, the width of central maxima increases. Okay. Now next one. Look, the options is comparable to the wavelength of light used, very much greater than wavelength of light used, smaller than wavelength of light used, none of the above. What may be the question? Diffraction occurs when the width of the narrow slit is comparable to the wavelength of light used, obviously. Diffraction occurs when the width of the narrow slit is comparable to the wavelength of the light used. Other options will not come into play. Next, the options are magnifying power, resolving power, interfering power, diffracting power. Because here we have compared interference as well as diffraction. Now let us search for the question. The capacity of an optical instrument to show separate images of very closely spaced two objects is called obviously resolving power. In the last class, we have discussed in very detail. So it is the resolving power. Clear? Now, next options. Slit width is increased, slit width is constant, but the separation between the slits is increased. Distance between the slit is decreased, none of the above. So what about the corresponding question? Missing order in the interference maxima in front of a double slit diffraction occurs if slit width is increased. Slit width is constant, but the separation between the slits is increased. Obviously, we have considered E to be constant, V to be varied. Naturally, to have the missing order, maxima, missing order in interference maxima in front of a double slit diffraction, the conditions to be satisfied is slit width is constant, but the separation between the slits is increased. Okay. Now, go for the next one. The options are finite distance, infinite distance, semi-finite distance, same point. Let us now search for the corresponding question. Fraunhofer diffraction arises when the source of light and the screen are effectively at. Now, common question, you got it? Fraunhofer diffraction arises when the source of light and the screen are effectively at infinite distance. This is the case of Fraunhofer diffraction. If it is the case for Fresnel, then it should be finite distance. Okay. Next one. The options are perfectly dark, perfectly white, never perfectly dark, colored. What may be the corresponding question? In Fraunhofer diffraction, minima are perfectly dark, perfectly white, never perfectly dark, colored. In the last class, we discussed it. In Fraunhofer diffraction, minima are never perfectly dark because some illumination is always present there. That's why it is never perfectly dark. Clear? Now, next options. Directly proportional, inversely proportional, proportional to its square root, not related. What about the question? The resolving power of optical instruments is related to limit of resolution as. Is it directly proportional or inversely proportional, proportional to its square root, not related? Obviously, they are related and inversely proportional. Smaller the limit of resolution, higher is the resolving power. Next one, the options are sharper, broader, narrower, weaker. Okay. Now let us take a look at the question. If number of slits increases, then principal maxima are obviously sharper, not broader, as well as narrower, not weaker. So number of slits increases, then principal maxima are sharper and narrower. Principal maxima are sharper and narrower. Isn't that? So I hope in a little bit different way, just like a game, we got the questions and the corresponding answers in the form of multiple choice questions, and I hope you understand the things from the chapter it is made. From the entire chapter it is made. Okay. Let us now move to the problems. The first problem. A parallel beam of green light of wavelength 546 nanometer passes through a slit of width 0.4 millimeter. The transmitted light is collected on a screen 40 centimeter away. Find the distance between the two first order minima. I am again repeating. A parallel beam of green light of wavelength 546 nanometer passes through a slit. That means it is single slit case of width 0.4 millimeter. Be careful about the units. These are mixing of units. The transmitted light is collected on a screen 40 centimeter away. Find the distance between the two first order minima. So let us take a look what are written. That means given. Lambda equal to 546 nanometer, E equal to 0.4 millimeter, D equal to 40 centimeter. Now this is the case with single slit, and it is told that distance between two first order minima. So simple formula is E sin theta equal to m lambda. So sin theta equal to m lambda by E. All the data are given here. M is the first order. Lambda is in nanometer, so 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Accordingly, convert small e to meter. Okay, so you will get its value. Now the question is, what about the distance between the two first order minima? Just take a look. Say this is the position of the single slit, and around this we will get the intensity distribution. Okay. Now this is the just point directly opposite to the slit, that is position of principal maxima. This is a first order minima. This side another first order minima will be there. So these are the two first order minima. You have to get the total distance, that is 2x. Let us get for one first order minima the distance. Let it be x. Then what about tan theta? Tan theta equal to x by 40 centimeter, because screen is 40 centimeter away, it is told. Now, from this expression, it is very clear that theta is very small, because 10 to the power minus 6 is coming. So, in that limit, tan theta nearly equal to theta equal to sin theta. So, tan theta equal to x by 40, it is in meter, then equal to sin theta. From there, you can get the value of x very easily, and it will come out in meter, because everything we have converted into meter. So what about the total distance? That is equal to 2x, that is 1.2x equal to 1.092 millimeter. Mind it, this is the answer, because they are asked to find out the value of twice x. Now come to the next question. Light of wavelength 5000 angstrom and 5200 angstrom falls on a grating having 5000 lines per centimeter. If a lens of focal length 2 meter is used to form spectra on a screen, find the distance between the lines in the first order and in the third order. Okay. So it is the case of a grating, and in case of grating, if nothing is specified, always use the formula for principal maxima. That is sin theta equal to small n into capital N into lambda. So what about sin theta? Capital N into lambda, because the first one is for first order. Now two wavelengths are present. One is lambda 1, 5000 angstrom, other is lambda 2, that is 5200 angstrom. This is the situation. This is due to lambda 1, this is due to lambda 2. The diffraction patterns are formed on a screen. The corresponding angles are theta 1 for lambda 1, and this is theta 2 for lambda 2. The linear distance is x1, and that is x2, and that is the focus. So here, in this formula, let us put theta equal to theta 1 corresponding to lambda lambda 1, theta equal to theta 2, lambda equal to lambda 2. Clear? Now, theta 1 corresponds to linear separation x1, and theta 2 corresponds to linear separation x2. So, you are asked to find out the distance between the lines in the first order and in the third order. I am showing you the first order case. That means if this is x1, this larger distance will be x2. You have to find out x2 minus x1. Clear? Now, let us put these values here. So, sin theta equal to n lambda, sin theta 1 equal to, what about n? It is given as 5000 lines per centimeter. So, 5000 into lambda 1. 5000 angstrom means 5000 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter. So theta 1 will come out as 0.253 radian. Theta 1 will come out as 0.253 radian. Similarly, in the same formula, use theta 2. What you will get? lambda will change 5200 angstrom, that means into 10 to the power minus 8. So what about corresponding theta 2.263 radian will come? Mind it, everything we have expressed in length unit. Now what about x2 minus x1? Look here, what about x1, that is tan theta 1 equal to x1 by f. Similarly, tan theta 2 equal to x2 by f. Okay. So what about x2 minus x1? You are asked to find out. That is f into tan theta 2 minus tan theta 1. That means nearly equal to theta 2 minus theta 1 since the values are small. So let us put the value of theta 2 minus theta 1. You will get x2 minus x1 equal to 2 centimeter because focal length is already given as 2 meter. 2 meter means 200 will come. So it is written as 200 into theta 2 minus theta 1. So you will get x2 minus x1 equal to 2 centimeter. And for the third order, only changes you have to make here, that 3 factor will come. Because small n, capital N lambda, so 3n lambda 1, 3n lambda 2, and answer will come out as 9.4 centimeter. Okay. So the previous problem and this problem are similar so far as methodology is concerned, but previous one was for single slit and this is for grating. So this is for maxima, accordingly the formula is chosen and the answer you got like this. I think all of you are understanding. These are type problems. Let us now move to the third problem. A parallel beam of light of wavelength 500 nanometer is incident normally on a narrow slit, that means single slit, of width 0.2 millimeter. Okay. The diffraction pattern is obtained on a screen placed in the focal plane of a convex lens of focal length 20 centimeter. Calculate the approximate distance between the first two maxima. Just look at this line very carefully. Calculate the approximate distance between the first two maxima. What about that first two maxima? What do we mean by that? Look here. In case of a slit, when we are talking about the first two maxima, we are talking about the secondary maxima because primary or principal maxima has a separate status and normally it is mentioned always as principal maxima. So between first two maxima means they are talking about first secondary maxima and second secondary maxima. So the data supplied is lambda equal to 500 nanometer, small e equal to 0.2 millimeter, and f equal to 20 centimeter. Now, what about the angular position of first secondary maximum? We know that is alpha equal to 1.43 pi. We discussed in very detail. Let it be alpha 1. Similarly, angular position for second secondary maximum will be alpha equal to 2.46 pi. Let it be alpha 2. Clear? Now we know the value of alpha. Alpha equal to pi e sine theta by lambda. So alpha 1 equal to pi e sine theta 1 by lambda, that is equal to 1.43 pi. So we are getting e sine theta 1 equal to 1.43 lambda from first angular position of first secondary maximum. Now from here, what is the value of theta 1 you are getting? All the data are given, convert it into same unit and you will get theta 1 to be equal to 3.573 into 10 to the power minus 3 radian. Very, very small, very small because 10 to the power minus 3 is coming. Similarly, from angular position of second secondary maximum, that is alpha 2 equal to 2.46 pi, and using the value of alpha 2 equal to pi e sine theta 2 by lambda, you can get the value of theta 2 equal to 6.1469 into 10 to the power minus 3 radian. Okay. So, what about theta 2 minus theta 1? The angular separation between the first two maxima. Angular separation between the first two maxima. And you are asked to find out the distance. That means linear distance between the first two maxima is f into theta 2 minus theta 1. We have done in the last two problem the same expression, that is x2 minus x1 equal to f into theta 2 minus theta 1, because basically tan theta is equal to x by f. So f value is already given, that is 20 centimeter, put the value, and theta 2 minus theta 1 you already got. So from there you will get the answer like this. Basically it is coming out as 0.5147 millimeter. 0.5147 millimeter. That means 0.05147 centimeter. Okay. So the three problems are similar, but you must be very careful by looking at the fact whether it is for slit or whether it is for grating, and whether it is for maximum, whether it is for minimum. Accordingly, it is done. Yes. Let us now move to the next problem. A light of wavelength 5.2 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter is incident on a grating where first order spectrum is formed along theta 1 such that sine theta 1 equal to 0.25. Okay. First order spectrum, already we are looking at those things in the previous problems. Now calculate the number of lines per meter on the grating. That means capital N but in meters. The angle theta 2 between the normal and the second order spectrum. That means n equal to 2. Here n equal to 1 of the same light and the highest order. That means n maximum. Here. Now let us take a look what is there. This is lambda given, and this is for a grating. The formula E plus B sine theta equal to small n lambda. If you use E plus B equal to 1 by n, you can get sine theta 1 equal to small n capital N into lambda. Now n equal to 1, it is mentioned, the first order. So sine theta 1 equal to, we are getting, what about this? Small n capital N lambda by choosing E plus B. Small n equal to 1. So sine theta 1 equal to capital N into lambda. Now what about n? Sine theta 1 by lambda. Now sine theta 1 value is given, lambda value is given. So you are asked to find out the number of lines per meter on the grating. You got the value because lambda is given in meter. Clear? Next is angle theta 2 between normal and second order. So same formula you will use. Only small n will be replaced by 2. So it will be 2 lambda into n, that is equal to sine theta 2. Now n is known to you. So lambda is already given. So you can find out the value of theta 2 very easily using the same formula. Next one, the highest order. That means n maximum. The formula already we have derived in our previous lessons. That is given by E plus B by lambda because sine theta equal to 1 here. Now E plus B means 1 by n into lambda. All the data are given here. Put the value, you will get the maximum observable order or highest order as 4. Okay. Now move to question number 5. A diffraction grating used at normal incidence gives a green line with wavelength of 5400 angstrom in a certain order superimposed on the violet line with wavelength of 4050 angstrom in the next higher order. If the angle of diffraction is 30 degrees, how many lines are there to the centimeter in the grating? Again, it is n you are asked to find out, but the given data something different, the problem is different. So here it is told as per the question that lambda green in say nth order superimposes on lambda violet in n plus 1/8 order, because it is told in a certain order superposed on the violet line in the next higher order. Accordingly, we have written, that means the path difference must be same with these orders and the wavelength that we already have used in case of interference too. So here E plus B sine theta equal to n into lambda green equal to n plus 1 into lambda violet. Now consider these two parts first to get the value of the order where it will take place, though it is not asked to find out. But without having the order, you cannot do the problem. So n value coming out as 3. Clear? Now E plus B sine 30, because angle is given, n into lambda green. 3 into lambda green value you put, you will get E plus B and find out n equal to 1 by E plus B. If you try with this one, answer will come same. In that case, E plus B sine theta equal to n plus 1. That means 4 into lambda V will come and you will get the same value. So the problem is something different. But I hope you understand, because you are very much familiar with similar type of problems we have done in interference. Now let us come to the question number 6. Consider a diffraction grating of width 5 centimeter with slit width of 0.301 centimeter and separation of 0.302 centimeter. What is the grating element? What is the grating element? Part A. What is the maximum observable order if wavelength is 5.5 into 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter? Find the width of the principal maximum. Is there any missing order? Let us now take a look. There are 4 parts. So first, grating width is given. And in the last class, we got the message that grating width is expressed as n into E plus B, that is equal to 5 centimeters. The slit width small e is given, separation is given, and lambda is given. So first part is grating element. Very easy. E plus B, you will get the answer 0.303 centimeter. Next is maximum observable order. A few minutes back we have done this, though the question is set in a little bit different way. So what about maximum observable order formula? The same one, E plus B by lambda. E plus B you already found out. So what about lambda? 5.5 into 10 to the power minus 5. The value will come out as 5.45. Now maximum observable order cannot be fraction and it will be the whole number, because this fractional part is not giving you the full observable order. That's why we will not consider it even if it is 5.95. Mind it, even if it is 5.95, we will not consider that. Maximum observable order will be the whole number. So it is 5. Clear? Next question, next part rather. Find the width of principal maximum. Now already in today's first problem we have considered that width of principal maximum means it is between the two first order minimum. It is between the two first order minimum. Now in case of grating minima, we know the condition is sin n beta equal to 0. That means n beta equal to plus minus m pi, where m is the order of minima. Now by putting the value of beta, you will find out from here E plus B sin theta equal to m lambda by n. That means sin theta equal to m lambda by capital N into E plus B. Now capital N into E plus B is the grating width. So value is given as 5. Let us put the value here. And it is the first order to have the width for the principal maximum, first order minimum. So what about m? M equal to 1. So sin theta equal to lambda by 5. As for principal maxima, m must be 1. Now things are very easy. It is 1.1 into 10 to the power minus 5 radian. And it is very, very small. So you can directly write theta equal to half width equal to 1.1 into 10 to the power minus 5 radian. And total width of the principal maximum obviously will be 2 theta, because it is the width which is contained between the two first order minima. We have done similar problem for single slit. This is for n slit. Same logical consideration. So 2 theta means 2.2 into 10 to the power minus 5 radian. So width of the principal maximum. Clear? Next is there any missing order? We know the missing order formula is E plus B by E, that is equal to N by M. Now, is there any missing order? You are asked to find out. Now, you know E, you know B. These are given. So, E plus B by E. What you are getting? 3 is coming here as per the data. So, N equal to 3M. Now, N is the order of interference maximum and M is the order of diffraction minimum. Now, put the value of M, we know 1, 2, 3. Then what about N value? 3, 6, 9. That means with first order minimum, third order interference maximum will coincide, so it will be missed out. With second order minimum, sixth order maximum will coincide and it will be missed out. With third order minimum, ninth order maximum will missed out, will overlap and missed out. So definitely the answer is yes, there are missing orders. What about the missing orders? 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. Is there any missing order? Yes. And what about the missing orders? 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. So I hope you are understanding the way questions are set. Clear? Next one. Problem number 7. Calculate the list width that a grating must have to resolve two components of sodium D line in the second order, the grating having 800 lines per centimeter. Given the wavelength of two lines of sodium as 5896 angstrom and 5890 angstrom. These are termed as D1 and D2 lines of sodium. This is a very, very interesting question. Let us take a look what are there and what we have to find out. Look at the question once more very carefully. Calculate the list width that a grating must have. That means grating minimum width you have to find out, which can resolve two components of sodium D line in the second order. The grating having 800 lines per centimeter and the two wavelengths of the sodium D line are supplied to you. So what are given? N equal to 800 lines per centimeter with the given grating, it is supplied. Order is told to lambda 1 and lambda 2 are given. So you are asked to find out the list width of the grating. Okay. Here, I will clarify the Rayleigh criterion of resolution to some extent in the form or in the fact that lambda can be either of them or their mean. In the last class, we have done that, but let us clarify it through example here. So case 1, I am considering the resolving power formula for grating, that is lambda by d lambda equal to small n into capital N. Now, lambda can be either of them or their mean. In the first case, I am considering lambda as 5896. Now, d lambda, what about d lambda? 6, 2 and n. Now, what about this n? To resolve these two lines in the second order with this grating, you require this much of n. You require this much of n. It is coming out as 491.33. That means your required number of lines are more than 491. That is 492 lines are required. More than 491, so 492 lines are required. Now, the grating which is given to you has 800 lines per centimeter. Say this is the width of the grating total 1 centimeter, which covers 800 lines. Okay. Out of this, you need only 492 lines width. You need only 492 lines width. That means entire 1 centimeter you don't need. So what about the list width? You need up to this. So how to find out that? 492 by 800, that is 0.614 centimeters. So even less than 1 centimeter can give you the answer properly. Is it clear to you? Very, very interesting problem. Grating list width. Now come to case 2. In place of lambda, I am now using lambda 2. Previously I used lambda 1. Now I am using 5890 and following everything. Okay, similar. Now n value you are getting 490.83. That means number of lines per centimeter required is 490 plus. That is 491. But your grating has 800 lines. So you are not using all 800 lines. That means 1 centimeter. So how much you require? The list width of the grating, what you require? 491 by 800. 491 by 800. What you will get? Just take a look. 0.6137. 0.6137. That means basically 0.614 centimeter. Look, in the third digit, the change is coming. That means whether you use lambda 1, whether you use lambda 2, even they are mean. If you use mean, n will come out more than 491, that means 492. That means in this category, the answer will come out exactly same. So two things about which you have to be careful in this type of resolving power problems. That is what about capital N, whether it is supplied or whether it is required. Okay, accordingly, you will go for the problem, and in case of lambda 1, lambda 2, you can use either of them or their mean if it is not specified. So I hope you are understanding the grating list width factor very clearly, isn't that? Next question. What is the maximum resolving power of a grating whose grating element is 12.5 into 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter and total number of lines is 20,000? The wavelength of the used light is 5,000 angstrom. So maximum resolving power of a grating you are asked to find out. So we know the resolving power of a grating means lambda by d lambda equal to small n into capital N. Here, in terms of this factor, you cannot find out maximum resolving power because all data are not given. But this is equivalent side, and here you know the maximum observable order you can find out very easily. So resolving power maximum means n maximum into capital N. What about n maximum? That means maximum observable order E plus D by lambda into capital N. Now look here, E plus B value is already given because it is told the grating element is this. Okay. So E plus B is 12.5 into 10 to the power minus 5. Now lambda equal to, it is in centimeter. So 5,000 into 10 to the power minus 8. Now into N. What about N? That is written given as 20,000. Total number of lines 20,000. Okay. But mind it, we have to get n maximum out of this. That is E plus B by lambda. And this is capital N. Clear? From this factor, you will find out the whole number n max equal to 2. Whole number n max equal to 2 from this factor you will get. Because 12.5 by 5 means it will come out 2 point something. Okay. So what about the maximum observable order? Whole number is 2 that we are getting. So 2 into 20 into 1000 from here. So we will get 40,000. So maximum resolving power here is coming out as 40,000. Maximum resolving power, interesting problem. It is said in a different way. To n max you have to find out. And mind it, in case of n, it is always the whole number will be the n max. Clear? Next question. The smallest object details that can be resolved by a microscope is 3.8 into 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter with light of wavelength 5893 angstrom. Calculate the numerical aperture of the objective when used dry and the numerical aperture when an oil immersion type objective is used with mu equal to 1.5. This problem is very, very special one. The smallest object details, that means the limit of resolution, that can be resolved by a microscope is 3.8 into 10 to the power minus 5 centimeter. So it is definitely limit of resolution. light of wavelength is given. Calculate the numerical aperture of the objective when used dry. Now, what about numerical aperture in case of the microscope? We know lambda by twice x. Because x equal to lambda by twice into Na, provided we use non-luminous object. If nothing is specified, you can use non-luminous object, but give the message that you are using non-luminous object. Okay. That means numerical aperture dry. That means when air is there, lambda by 2x. So lambda value is given 2 into x. You can find out the answer 0.775. Okay. When used dry, numerical aperture is 0.775. Now, according to the definition of numerical aperture, it is written as mu into sine alpha or mu into sine I, where this alpha or I we have used in the last class I. It is the semi-vertical angle of the cone of rays entering into the aperture of the microscope objective. Now, when used dry means mu equal to 1. That means basically this is the value of sine alpha for air but dry system. This is the definition. Mu equal to 1 when used dry. So sine alpha equal to this value. Now numerical aperture for oil immersion type. Mu sine alpha. So sine alpha value is 0.775 and mu equal to 1.5. You will get it. So mind it. For oil immersion type objective, definitely numerical aperture will be larger than the dry case. So question is said in a different language. So follow it clearly and then do it. And I hope now you understood it very clearly. Isn't that? Now let us move to next problem. An oil immersion microscope will just resolve two lines drawn 1,12,000 per inch using a monochromatic light of wavelength 4200 angstrom. Calculate the numerical aperture of the objective. Look at the language. An oil immersion microscope will just resolve test lines. That means on some sheet, some lines are drawn and you want to test it with the help of a microscope using a monochromatic light of wavelength 4200 angstrom. Now, what about the resolution? Resolve the test lines drawn 1,12,000 per inch. So many lines are there. Now, your oil immersion microscope can resolve it or not. That you have to see. Calculate the numerical aperture of the objective in the form of numerical aperture of the objective. So, what about this? Is it known to us? Just take a look. There are 1,12,000 lines per inch. So how many lines are there per centimeter? 1,12,000 by 2.54. So many lines are there per centimeter. Now what about limit of resolution? The minimum distance between the lines. So many lines are there. You are getting per centimeter. So what about the separation between the two closest lines? Obviously, that is the limit of resolution. This is nothing but 1 divided by this factor. You will get it very easily. This is a very, very important trick here which is used. That is x equal to 1 by this factor. Clear? Now you get it. So limit of resolution you got. Rest of the job is very simple. Numerical aperture is equal to lambda by twice x. So put the values and convert it into same unit. You will get numerical aperture to be equal to 0.93. Normally the numerical aperture comes out to be less than 1. But for good quality microscope, it comes out to be very nearly equal to 1. So I hope that you are understanding the trick what are used here in so far as the statement of the question is concerned. Isn't that? So you got many number of 10 number of different problems which are said in a different way. The languages are different, methodologies are different, and I hope you understand it. and you enjoyed it. So let us complete our today's class. Thank you, my dear students. Stay safe and stay healthy.